Walter and Arthur and all your colleagues, Churchill once dismissed a contemporary with the line that he's a modest man with much to be modest about. I'm in that position tonight. My state police friends have heard this line, I suppose, every time they apprehended someone, that someone has said, "You've got the wrong man." On these occasions, we've all heard people say, "Well, I really don't deserve this honor." What they mean is, "What took you so damn long?" But tonight, when I say it, I mean it. It's an enormously meaningful thing to me. And this, in a job like the one I'm in, and Jim knows what I'm talking about, you get thanked and recognized all the time for things you probably don't deserve. And this is one of those times. I will accept this award with profound thanks, but on a probationary basis only. I believe we in Indiana, and I personally, have a lot of work to do to fully live up to this. I'm especially modest tonight to be part of the same program with Governor Jim Hunt, the original education governor. Every governor I know aspires to that appellation, but it was invented for Jim Hunt. And no one ever has lived up, maybe ever will, to his standards for that. This is like being inducted into the Hall of Fame with Babe Ruth and you're not even out of AAA ball yet. I want to try to express to the foundation, I'm so thrilled to hear, someone told me something like 21 of 24 trustees came to this meeting tonight. They are a Hall of Fame themselves if you looked at the list. We are enormously privileged to have you in our state. And by the way, I want to say to the trustees, I want to extend to you the heartfelt wish that while you're with us here in Indiana, you will tip big. We can use the dough. Don't stint. If I have that feeling at this moment, and I do, who, me? I had a similar feeling when Arthur Levine first came around, described this program, his dreams and visions, those of the foundation. And my thought, I probably stifled it verbally, was, who, us? We've got a long way to go in Indiana. We've been working hard at it. But I just feel so fortunate that somehow, I guess through perhaps Jim's suggestion, this fantastic program came here. We've got some work to do to prove, I believe, that we deserve it. But I love this program from the minute Arthur started describing it. We believe that, particularly in our state, which had some catching up to do in a variety of dimensions, and most particularly education, there's not a day to waste, not a moment to waste. To us, impatience is a virtue. And impatience is really a virtue in terms of Indiana education. And here comes Arthur. It's not another study. It's not another pilot. It's an action program. And one, as Jim enumerated for you, that has the potential to make a tangible, real difference in a time frame we can all comprehend. We got 50-some thousand teachers in the state of Indiana. Only a few thousand of them teach science and math. So the denominator is not big here. And about 4, 5, 6 cohorts of Wilson Fellows will represent a meaningful percentage of all the math and science teachers in the state. We're going to see a huge improvement in the quality of these most essential disciplines in a reasonable period of time. But it doesn't stop there. I just know it. I can sense it, and I've been asking fellows, I've been asking principals tonight about this. The multiplier effect, the ripple effect of what this program can do, I think we're already seeing. I just believe, and I know we're going to be able to prove, that in every school into which one of these remarkable people parachutes, the quality of other teaching will go up. The expectations of the principal and the superintendent to whom they report for the next math and science teacher will go up. Each one of these fabulous people, these marvelous idealists that we've heard from, will affect not merely the students that come into direct contact with them, but students that don't get that opportunity but will encounter a teacher who was motivated, inspired, or perhaps had their game lifted because they were in the same place with Rhoda or the others we heard about. The program's has already made a big difference in another way. Arthur is a hard worker. He came back and told me something I didn't know. There's a lot I didn't know. I didn't know we had 43 schools, universities, purporting to teach teachers in this state. I said, man, Arthur, I wish I knew who the top 4 or 5 were so we could reinforce them. I wish I knew who the worst 4 or 5 were so we could say, quit doing that. Teach something different. Well, Arthur did the study, and he came back and he said, he told me, and I will not name the name shall be changed to protect the guilty. He told me, you got some schools here who ought not be teaching teachers, including some of your big name schools. Wouldn't send this program there on a bet. But you got a few really good ones. And I want to thank the 4 who are with us tonight for being great schools, for winning the confidence of the nation's premier educator, and for being willing to take this program on. We're incredibly proud of you. And I know that just like those teachers, you will raise the game. You are already raising the game and changing the approach of all your sister schools around this state. We have tried to come in behind that and change the way in which teachers are prepared, following the example that the Wilson Fellowship has set for us. Now, some kind things were said tonight about what we're doing here in Indiana. I think they're very premature. As I say, any recognition of what we're doing ought to be probationary. You ought to want to come back and make sure you got it right. Yeah, those things that were mentioned, we have done. We've got the most idealistic, reform-minded superintendent of instruction in America now, and my friend Tony Bennett. And we're going to do all the things we can, but it never leaves my mind how far we have to go. I always say that, my Bennett, for example, he's a marathon runner, and I've done a little of this. I always say that in education in Indiana, it's like one of those huge races where you have to travel about a mile just to get to the starting line. We had laws in this state with severe limits on how many charter schools we can have and who can charter them. We had a law in this state, it's still on the books, we've found a way around it, that says that you cannot look at student achievement as even one factor in evaluating a teacher. If you had 100 factors on the evaluation form, that couldn't be one of them, how well the kids were doing. So, hold your applause for Indiana. We're a work in progress. I'm not a moviegoer, but I did see there's some movie where Kevin Costner is this legendary Coast Guard guy who has been part of hundreds of open sea rescues, and some starstruck up-and-comer asks him about, is it really true you saved all those people? And he says, I don't know. He only counts the ones that he lost. And that's the way I think about the kids in this state. Anything we've done so far, what weighs on me is the kids whose futures have been lost, who have been literally handicapped by an inadequate system that didn't allow them to become the people and help them to become the people they could be. Now, I say probationary. I'm incredibly excited about the period right ahead of us. We meet tonight, surely it strikes you, we meet tonight at a remarkable moment in the history of public education in America. I think we're at an inflection point. Jim Hunt has been laboring in the vineyards for decades now and advocating the sorts of things that only happened in a few states where somebody like Jim was governor. But don't you feel it? Can't you see it? There's a movie out right now saying things that Jim Hunt said for a long, long time. A whole lot of people are coming together, people who do disagree about all kinds of other questions, but are not prepared to see the children of this nation fall behind those of other places, not prepared to see, therefore, our nation fall behind if we can do something about it. Here in Indiana, we think the door is about to become open to the huge improvements that we have yet to effect here in teacher quality, in turning around failing schools, in doing whatever it takes to see that the children assigned to them have some better opportunity. I'm going to offer a bill, if we get the chance, and I think we'll have it in the next legislature, that says if you can finish, as a lot of our kids can, in less than 12 years, we'll give you the money we were going to spend on your wasted cruising 12th grade and let you, if you will spend it to take it on to higher education. Get on with that. Save some money doing it. And we're going to offer more choices to the families of this state. We want them to find whatever place is best and best suited to the children that they love. The landscape is changing right now. Folks who have, for sentimental reasons or political reasons, clung to old alliances are beginning to let go of it because the kids come first to them. The ground that people like Jim Hunt have so patiently tilled for a long time is about, I think, to give birth to a whole new system, a whole new flowering of opportunities. And we're just determined that Indiana will come not to this, just up to the starting line, but to a leadership position in making this all possible for the children here. I mean, just look at this room. There are a lot of people in this room who come from very different directions and walks of life and have honest disagreements about other questions, but there's one thing we agree on: that children must come first, that their education is the single most important factor in making that true. We talk about that so often in economic terms. Our nation will not be economically strong if we're not smart in math and smart in science and all the other disciplines. That's all right, but everybody here knows there's something bigger at stake. It's a civil justice issue. Every American deserves a chance to be whatever their initiative and hard work is able to make them. It's a democracy issue. Public education came into being to create citizens who have the ability to step up fully to the responsibilities of the special duties that come with government by consent of the governed. So, we'll accept this award tonight with enormous gratification, but we'll accept it on a probationary, tentative basis. But I want to tell you, you're not getting it back. We want you to hold us accountable. I know Arthur will. I know the trustees will. I know our fellow citizens will. We will follow through on this. We will make this work. We will become a state where not just math and science, but all the other important disciplines that lead to full citizenship are taught well and absorbed fully and produce the kind of Americans on which a great country can rely. Thank you so very much.